Throughout history, there have been some great leaders. Men and women remembered and admired for their strength, courage and wisdom. And then there was this guy. King John ruled England between 1199 and 1216, but he wasn't known as a good king.
What?
In fact, King John the Bad is what people still call him.
They don't call me that. They don't call me that.
Oh, no, sire.
For the most part, John's remembered as being, well, not very nice. He was known as cruel and spiteful and jealous and vain. But that was okay because he was never really supposed to have any power. John was the youngest son of a big royal family. But his older brothers kept dying. One of them, Richard, managed to rule for a good 10 years. They called him King Richard Lionheart, and he was loved and respected by his people. But then he died, and as the only brother left, John took the throne. Early in his reign, John managed to lose a lot of his empire in northern France, and he spent the next decade fighting expensive wars to try and win it back again. To pay for that, he taxed his barons, the rich people who were in charge of his lands.
Is this all there is?
Yes, sire.
This isn't going to be enough, is it?
No, sire.
Well, we're going to have to raise the taxes again.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Yeah. Why?
Well, you've already raised them 11 times. The barons are revolting.
I know they're revolting. That Robin Fizzwaltz, he smells like horse dung.
No, they're ready to revolt. They're unhappy with you, sire.
Why would they be unhappy?
Well, you are taking their money and their property.
Ah, Sir William. Have you come to give me money for my war?
No, sire, no.
Ah, well, that's all right then. I'll just take your castle and your land.
What? You can't do that.
I can do what I like. I'm the king. Guards, arrest him. Oh, I love being king.
By 1215, the barons had had enough.
I've had enough of this. This is getting ridiculous.
He stole my castle.
And he stole my abbey. But then he sold it back to me.
We need to do something.
We'll form an army, take over London, and force him to listen to us.
Yeah!
And that's what they did. On the 15th of June, they met at a place called Runnymede to negotiate. The barons made the king agree to a bunch of promises. Like not raising taxes without the consent of the barons, respecting the rights of the church, and not punishing people, imprisoning them or taking their property away without a trial by jury. The rules were written down in a document which later became known as the Magna Carta. Of course, King John, being King John, broke most of those promises and a civil war broke out. But later kings would reissue the Magna Carta, and it eventually became British law. To many, it represented something really important, that kings weren't all powerful, and that their subjects had rights that had to be respected. The Magna Carta helped to inspire Thomas Jefferson when he wrote the American Declaration of Independence. And after World War II, some of its principles made their way into the UN's Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
This Universal Declaration of Human Rights may well become the international Magna Carta of all men everywhere.
You can still find its influence in Australian law, and there's a copy from 1297 kept in Parliament House. 800 years on, the Magna Carta is still seen as a document that's worth celebrating. It made people think differently about power and rights, and even earned a not-so-great king an important place in history.